Hey, it's Em here with a super random episode. Um, I just want to talk about something that really is out of the blue, but I was having a conversation about it with somebody else. I was like, why not come on here and share it? So, what I want to talk about is my rules for my relationships, and I'm talking specifically about dating. Now, for myself, I think we all have like our own different like rules and expectations and things like that. For me, I was more of what you'd call a late bloomer. And really what I mean is didn't nobody like me until I was out of high school and around people who were interested in a variety of beauty and not just the people I went to school with. And also I think I just growing and all that kind of stuff. Like I think the way I was perceived changed, and also the way I perceive myself. But that's more just like over time when you're not, for me, like not depending on my appearance because like nobody cared about it. Uh, Not depending on that to elevate me or get anywhere, like really kind of worked for me in a way. And I think even now it's really, I like it, but it was so hard at the time. And I would never tell somebody going through that like it's not valid, that like, oh, I'll just be fine. Like, nah, but in the moment, that's not how you feel. As I learned to like appreciate myself, I started to set strong rules for what I was going to tolerate. Because to me, for dating, at some point, I just got to the point where I was like, okay, don't nobody care about me. I'm good. I'm good with myself. Like, I did want a really good friend. That did matter to me, but not like, but as far as dating and stuff like that, I haven't gone on like many. I'm not saying like I had like a long line of dates and stuff like that. No, that didn't happen. But what did happen, when I would on occasion go out, like I just found it interesting just to pick some guy's brain and understand a little bit more. I don't know about another person. Yeah, to me, like it was very important to set strong rules for myself. And I don't think I did this consciously. I never like sat down and was like, this is what a guy should be like. Because to me, I didn't grow up like wanting to get, like over time, I didn't care about getting married. I figured down the line I would adopt, which is something I still want to adopt a kid. And so like to me, like none of my plans really required a man. And I don't know. I don't know. To me, like it meant more to have a community, a group of people that I connected. Not even it didn't have to be a big group. Just a circle I could trust. And I mean, I got my family, and if I have a close friend, that'd be good. So for me, I didn't put too much into the idea of dating. My feelings and confidence in myself over time grew from me and not based on like men complimenting me. Especially growing up, like being so ignored, to me, compliments as I got older it was uncomfortable for me. Even to this day, actually, I don't really like them. But like also like because I don't need it. I'm good, I mean, I won't be rude. I'm not gonna be like, how dare you, but I don't know. I don't know. I guess this is not my thing. So yeah, but anyway, so something that really mattered to me, number one, I think, which is a huge thing that people talk about, is the finance side. I think for me, it was extremely important to set strong lines when it comes to finance. And I don't mean I need to know how much you make or whatever. Like, I don't care how much another person makes. I do not care. I don't care. For my life, like I didn't have a goal of like, I need to make this much money in my life. Like, I mean, like I want to be able to pay some bills and travel and stuff like that, contribute, all that kind of stuff. That's kind of what I had in mind. And even now, I'm married, but even for like when I first met like my husband, like I knew him for years before I knew how much money he made, because it didn't matter. Because one of my biggest rules, I believe, for me, it was very important that I was independent financially, and that the person I was with was independent financially. And even when it came to dates, usually at the end of the date, like I just was uncomfortable having someone else pay for it. It's not that I didn't feel like I deserved it. I didn't want that weird dynamic. It was extremely important for me. And then I think something else that I did was I embraced the red flags. To me, there are, I think in dating, there are a lot of red flags that come up real quick. And really sometimes the bigger the creep, the less he was able to hide his own red flags or didn't know about them. And so like, you know, sometimes like if you're questionable enough, you know, you over time it just is your normal, so you don't even realize. And so some people expose themselves real quick, or like red flags are apparent very quick. And I found that when I didn't like really keep those red flags in the front of my mind to make it, that's when things got messy. So like I had one relationship where, like an actual relationship, I've only had like, I'd say probably 2 like relationships in my life. And I saw red flags early, like from the very beginning. But I ignored them just because like I'm bored. We'll hang out, we'll talk, and it'll be fine. But 2 years later, like, oops. And like, and not only that, but then allowing myself to be talked into a relationship that I didn't actually want. And I think that's the other thing, like, because I keep the red flags in mind to protect myself. So to me, it was helpful, so I didn't catch feelings or anything like that. Like I didn't want any chances of that happening. I wanted to know that I could make a clean break. I don't think either of us are getting anything out of it. Because like, again, like to me, I just like to have a positive interaction with other people. And some people might call it dating. Some people call it hanging out. I think the problem is like a lot of times, like if a guy's like, hey, I want to hang out, like he doesn't want to just hang out. So, and like for those things, like and I know like this is probably like not a healthy approach. I don't know how other people would do it, but for me it worked because I didn't end up in anything too crazy. And it's really like, by keeping that in mind, I'm not going to put up with something I'm not comfortable with. I didn't pay for no man's stuff. I'm not paying his way through anything. Like for me, that independence needs to be there. Oops, I ran out of room on my phone. Wait, no, 28 seconds. 1 sec, let me get that together. But yeah, to me, having strong set rules was very important, and it helped protect me from some crazy situations. Even like, I didn't want it particularly for a guy to know where I lived. In some cases, they never knew like my full name and all of that. Like, yeah, sometimes for me, like it was just important to very much protect myself. And yeah, I think maybe subconsciously though, I was open to what life had for me. Like I didn't have any I didn't have like a specific type of guy. Like I never had like a type. I think I am not taking care of you. I'm not your mama. That like not even close to happening. I'm not paying any of your bills, not at all. I have too high of a value in myself. Like I have too much love for myself to go do that. I'm like, if I'm going to be investing in somebody, it's going to be the kid that I adopt. Okay? That's where the investment will happen. I'm not adopting a grown man. So to me, like, it was very important. And like, don't get me wrong, like I have made huge mistakes when it comes to dealing with men, interacting with men, and all that kind of stuff. Because again, like honestly, like most of it just was like, I was like, they're like, oh, you want to hang out? I'm like, sure. Never did anything I didn't want to do. Like if I'm uncomfortable, I'm gone. And that has happened many times. That happened many times while dating. Like, I'm not comfortable, I'm out. Like, it's as simple as that. I didn't always have that confidence. At some point, I had my desperation days and all that kind of stuff. Like, when I was like littler, which is not a word, but I'm gonna use it. Yeah, just I think I just retrained my brain. And like, it's funny because I love to watch like sitcoms and things like that. And so many of them are just so based around, you ain't nothing till you get a man, and you ain't nothing. But like, to me, I just find that amusing. But by no means is that, oh, the sun is bright. By no means is that my story. For me, and this is gonna be really cheesy, but actually I feel best when I've like uplifted like other women, because I just know the social pressure that is on a woman, everything like how we look, how we dress, all this stuff is like kind of broken down and picked apart, and I think it affects us in ways that we don't even consciously see. And to me, that's something I keep, like, I'm very aware of. I've seen, actually, I saw a movie that did an interesting like way of showing like what if the situation was reversed, and it was really interesting to see. But like, that being said, like, there's some amazing men out there just in general. Like, I'm not saying that like as far as like dating, I just mean just in general, like there's amazing people, like, regardless. But I don't know, I just felt like sharing some of these thoughts. I'm very curious if you have any stories or experiences that you want to share. At some point, I definitely can like think of like more details. I just, right now, I think my brain also is very aware, that time's ticking, and I also need some hydration. So, but please leave your comments below, your thoughts. If you have any like stories and things like that, I would love to hear from you. Yeah, and like, if you have different rules, if you dated or whatever, what were your rules for yourself, if you're comfortable sharing. So yes, thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with another random episode next week. But please, in the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll talk with you then. Bye for now.